living room is where we relax and spend time with family or friends. You'll find a comfortable sofa to sit on, a coffee table to place rings and magazines. On the TV shelf, you can place the television and, of course, a television for watching programs and movies. Cushions on the sofa are some extra comfort, and a decorative rug covers the floor. You can also use remote control to operate the TV and perhaps hang a painting or two on the wall to add some color. On the bookshelf, you can store your favorite books and there a lamp to light up the room. A potted plant can bring a touch of nature to the room. My training resort on Elsa, my drastic resort on Google Translate.
And it's not a genuine or comfortable or truly available self. The ego
bringing, because I always felt completely comfortable designing my life exactly as I saw fit. And in point of fact, I took a route that was not exactly what my parents.
And then they always feel comfortable articulating publicly.
Yeah.
Is it difficult to say in the political?
That drill was to make you comfortable being uncomfortable.
And that you can just wait and make yourself comfortable until then.
You go ahead and sit back in your comfortable chair and you be the critic. Figure your brain to basically be either assertive, confident, and comfortable, or really stress reactive.
The more you practice, the more comfortable you will become.
Comfortable.
Partnership with Backpacker Magazine, and I was able to help them co-create some.
That was advertising and reviewing the
Of course.
Lots of perlite and the coconut corn there.
The same goes for my design of custom programs. I don't want.
Poverty remains once we count the effects of anti-poverty programs.
The Justice Department has begun pilot programs to help police use body cameras and collect data on the use.
Resources, microlending programs, angel groups.
target federal programs to the poorest.
MBA and Drucker Master's programs, for that matter, very special.
Or even cross-platform desktop programs with an Electron framework.
Computer-generated movies are really mainstream.
And then using Instagram to make short movies of their stories to kind of illustrate what we would be doing.
Women really had a hard time cracking mainstream movies. I mean, mainstream distributed films.
And I watch movies about it. I listen to beautiful.
That's why I go to the movies. That's why I read mystery stories. That's why I go after.
Please don't engage with this. Nothing to see. Yep, everything's fine now. Faux patriotic.
Shocks. I've often had this fantasy of electrifying all the cushions so that if someone got sleepy.
In Cubs, and we made these pin cushions for our moms for Mother's Day, and you made these pin cushions. Construction of the Commons chamber, complete with the green cushions
on the clothes. Deserve to know that they've got some cushion, some net under them, and where we've got.
As if it could fall between the couch cushions like a set of keys. We surmise by putting their heads on the cushions of the couch, and then, just my own comfort level of it might be scary because it does take you out of your comfort zone, but that's a good thing.
I've stepped outside my comfort zone enough now to know.
And in fact, I was encouraged to go outside of my comfort zone.
And draw comfort that even
Reach across the aisle to comfort each other after
Where he's playing with that decorative effect, but he's obliterated the.
To remember that these paintings didn't just serve a decorative function.
When the page is made longer with decorative graphics,
were part of the original decorative program of Stupa.
Occasions, a man might wear a highly decorative form of coat covered. A man might wear a highly decorative form of coat covered in embroidery.
Shows aprons with different decorative stitches.
Now, who were working in Kukubri and developing a new, more decorative style of painting.
McNair's work exhibits some of the decorative traits of Art Nouveau, a movement that
pictures on either side. These were called what Clark called decorative pictures. So you.
The president had embroidered on the rug. The president had embroidered on the rug.
nor should it continue to be swept under the rug.
From our classroom rug, from behind my desk.
Way too long is because we try to sweep it under the rug. We don't want to acknowledge.
And delivered a bearskin rug to the Playboy Mansion.
Sent by his father to the southern part of the country to establish a rug-making business.
It is difficult to distinguish the type of algae that covers the ocean here.
It covers huge shares of the population, covers 10% or something. Firstly,
actually, there's not a single metric that covers a concept that big.
Including on the covers of major international
pattern of shapes that covers a plane without
in this room, which is covered in hand embroidered. Briefly covers a lot of things, and obviously
Wave 1, which covers the history of the line and
have really cool additions or covers for some of her books.
And because it only covers a short part of each concept, never forget biology is full of more.
Considering the film covers the whole period, and his son explained that a piece of paper fell on the floor.
how a vine survives by creeping from the forest floor to look at the sun.
I heard the screams on the phone and the plane going in, and our employees were on that floor that was hit. They were
account. And I didn't have a car. I actually had a car, but it had holes in.
I think what would probably floor Douglas North about this use of technology is the fact that the very thing that makes it work.
We're pointing at. You could have been pointing at the floor, under the chair.
Getting a sense of the contact of your feet resting on the floor.
you can use this to more intuitively show which rooms are on the second floor, or maybe to represent small houses on
have enabled them to operate increasingly independently.
And those two things hopefully can operate in tandem.
Organization, because it means as government continues to operate as it's programmed to do.
How do they operate? How do you think you would have answered that question? If they don't, what does that mean for how we operate as a society?
That people just wouldn't think a business could operate.
We all operate a little differently when we're sure we can win.
Perhaps you'll be inspired to protect and preserve them.
Shared communally. Places like Burning Man, perhaps in
stipend, perhaps it's easier for them to think of people struggling to get by. And there is perhaps no industry with more potential to create jobs.
Perhaps you've been on it since you were born and did not know.
Now, Buckminster Fuller perhaps had it right when he said,
Putting it together. And perhaps it's just me, maybe you. But anyway, we're only...
I am a psychologist, or perhaps what I should say, a cognitive neuroscientist.
And only perhaps 20% of drugs,
usually potted with bright red and green leaves, can be
loved that as a sort of, I guess, a potted history, but also you're sort of seeing.
And I was now driving through it with a potted yellow rose in the back.
progressivism and its influence around it becomes like the furniture or a potted plant. We don't know.
Allow me to give you a potted history of the clothes we wear or don't wear. It started around about the...
Different things. Some might do potted colour, some might do trees.
Or along the way. So that's my sort of potted sketch. And I was very pleased to be asked to come back.
Love beanie weenies and potted meat. Do it, but the Canaletto in turn has taken the time to paint all these little pot plants in. It's very, very sweet.
Out buildings and bullet potted walls. Also,
It's a fun way to add a touch of nature into the kids' bedroom.
One touch of nature makes the whole world kin.
I know a bank where the wild tide blows.
One touch of nature makes the whole world kin. And greenery will just add that warmth and touch of nature. And then
We sing beyond them that they were out of touch. We sing beyond them that they were out of touch with the actual nature of you.
It seems to touch the most kind of primitive. It seems to touch the most kind of primitive and deep human feelings about the nature.
Before the show, as well as audio description. The nature of life.
Just a quick touch, given the historic nature of what is going on, and your thoughts.
completely as we can to be more in touch with the laws of nature. Again, back to time and put you back in touch with the rhythms of nature. With perhaps a touch of moralizing and pontification about human nature. To quote Sontag again, feelings about evil are projected onto a disease, and the disease so